Welcome to my world here on the internet. I'm your host, Moises Beauchamp Jr., and we're coming at you with another one. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. Hit the bell, like that you're notified every time we go live or upload. Today we're talking about why did Jannie ping at the park the day Dulce Maria Alavez went missing. As you come in, hit that like button, subscribe. Chat room is open, and the phone lines is going to be open here in a minute. But as of right now, give me 1 second to get set up. My co-host will be joining me here in a minute, and she'll be taking over once she comes in. Alright, give me 1 minute to get set up over here. As you're coming in, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. You know what I'm saying? All them good things that you do when you come to YouTube. Alright, give me 1 minute. Bear with me. Bear with me. Alright, my co-host is here. Give me 1 second. She's going to join me here in a minute. Let me add her to the show. You there?
Yeah, can you hear me good?
Can you hear me good? Alright, I can hear you good. I hear you too good, actually. Alright, take over.
Okay,
Hey everyone.
Um,
Um,
give me 1 second. Hold on. I can hear myself echoing. Okay, so it's been a while. I wanted to go back to before I even start anything. I wanted to give uh, Annie the opportunity to chime in since she wanted questions to be asked to her directly. Okay, so I wanted to go back to that video that came out on Dulce's birthday with the father. Like, what's up with that? Why has he just released that video and that's it? You know, you haven't heard anything for about 2 years, and all of a sudden you get this video and you're expecting more from this video, but you're still not getting anything from it because he's still quiet to this day. And I went back and I read on the paper where it stated that, he has per his spokesperson. So, per his spokesperson, they stated, that was Edgar, it was Dulce's father, but yet again, he hasn't even reached out, I guess, to Bushton Police Department and asked, because if you can contact people, you can contact the Bushton Police, but we still haven't heard anything about that. Like, what is everybody's take still on this video? With this video situation and the father. Anyway, well, I don't know if she's chiming in, but I'd hate to do it. But this is why we're here, right? We're here to find where Dulce is at. And I'm not saying necessarily, let's say that I was on the park that day, right? And I was investigating. There's a 5-year-old little girl missing. You could check me all day. Like, you can investigate me. But one thing for sure that I wouldn't do is disrespect the family, and not saying that she disrespected them, or I want to clarify some things. She and it could be a good character. I really don't know
Yeah,
this lady like that.
yeah, we
Um,
really ain't trying to put nobody out there like that.
yeah,
We, you know, what I mean, we just running into some information and we're just putting it out there.
we're
It's
just saying
just
because it just seems to be the same people over and over again. In this case, like, let's just say she's one of them. I mean, if you really dug into this case and you're really into the case, and not only focused on the parents of Dulce, but you're also focused on the outer circle, on what's going on around Dulce also, which means what's going on in the groups, what's going on in Britain itself, like how are things connected, like, why are these random people just keep popping up everywhere with crazy stuff, you know and yeah, it's a circle, but either way that you look at it, it's still, at the end of the day, the circle still closes around Dulce. Like, a lot of people want to know, okay, you say you pinged on the park that day. We're not saying that you took her. We're just saying I personally have a problem with it because, you had a whole vigil at your house knowing that you pinged at the park, regardless of how you want to look at it. You pinged at the park involving the disappearance of a little girl. We're not saying that you took her. We're not saying any of that. But what we're saying is that you still didn't even have the decency to tell this family that you were investigated before you had a visual at your house. I mean, I would think that that's some credible information that you would want to tell me. I would be offended, because we can't even say anything because this mom has no emotions either. So I would have emotion if, let me tell you that if if that was me, right, and I had a visual at this lady's house and I knew that she pinged at the park and she didn't tell me, I would slide her. I don't know, that's how I would do it, because you, not saying that that's how you, I'm just saying me, that's me. But I'm just saying that I think that it's disrespectful that you didn't relate yourself to this family, telling them that you was investigated for the disappearance. Not saying that you took her. We're not saying that you was there in the park that day. They might have wanted to ask you questions like, hey, did you see a car? Like, hey, did you see my granddaughter? Like, you know what I mean? If you didn't, So it's always something that I looked into, because just like the FBI did key players, right? The key players of Dulce's disappearance, it always ends up out the outer circle. It always ends up, like a few people that just keep on popping up. And then the more you look into these people, the more you see the connection, the more that you kind of be like, oh, that couldn't happen. Like, there's a lot of things that are at stake out there, and a missing now 7-year-old child, you know, you could have missed out on some information too. Like, when you was there, what did you see? Like, we're always asking who was in the park that day. We're always asking who was in the park that day. We would like to hear from people who was in the park that day. Here you are, you was in the park that day, and we don't hear nothing. We don't hear you stating that you was in the park that day. We hear you just coming up with uh videos and stuff like that, exploiting people, like when things was hot on the griddle. Like, if somebody gave you some information, you quickly just poof, go out there and blurt it out. Now, I've been sitting on so much information for such a long time, I could have done the same thing, but I didn't, out of due respect for people. But it's just when people keep coming up and it just keeps looking more weirder and weirder and weirder, then I start searching and searching and searching. And then that's when you can, and
and
unfortunately, we find
that's when
things on people.
that's when you find yeah, exactly. That's that's when you stumble across things.
Because that's exactly what happened yesterday. Because I really don't even know why. It's not like I was even looking for anything that had to do with uh, her. I just don't even know how I put something in the search engine and this guy's name come up, and I see how he's so upset at her. And I'm like, what the hell? How can somebody be so upset at you like that? Like, I mean, you could be a great person. You could be a. I'm not saying. I want to make it clear that I'm not saying that she took Dulce. That is not what I'm saying. I didn't say that. I'm just saying that the actions that lead to her from that day just makes her seem a little bit weird. Like a little bit off. You would be more. I don't know, because there's another character too that comes up. The local whisperer that comes up, and he's always, you know, he's a weird character within himself. He didn't even talk. He the whole entire time since this child was missing, the first 4 months, I would say that this child was missing. This local whisperer thing didn't even associate himself with this family. Okay, spoke on this child that she could have been possibly held down in this Cohansey River, you know, but in not at one time did he even go up to Noema and her mom and say, "Hey, I have some possible information on where your granddaughter might be." Like, come on, dude, you waited 4 months to actually present yourself to this family. And I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that if you're going to go around and do something that has to do with this child, you need to reach out to this family. Like, I tried reaching out to this family. I met them over there, or what, at the vigil, and then I don't know what happened. I don't even want to talk about that. But anyway, sometimes they push away the help, and then that makes them seem suspicious too, because we had some great ideas in coming together and finding things. But anyway, let me go back to this other strange character that pops up a lot. They're always talking about canoes and things like that, and uh, it's just strange. It's just the same weirdest things, weirdest circles that just keep on happening. And I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that they tell us to look for people with strange behavior, right? There's a lot of people in these groups with some strange behavior, but the weirdest, unexplainable, strangest behavior, that's what you have to look for. And so characters come up with this odd, unexplainable, strange behavior. With this case, it's not like a obsession. Okay, it's more like a factual type of thing. But then there's other cases that we had linked on to, like, what was it, the Mark Heimblad case. I might be saying his name wrong, but anyway, he's from Cape May. The boy, he should be like 27 years missing by now. Anyway, uh he was in the Cape May, but little Billy before then. And then it's just strange, like these odd, strange, unexplainable behavior. They contact these families and, you know,
And
let you
then the,
contact me and tell me that you think that this is my child's toe. I'm gonna punch you in your eye. I don't even know what to say about that, because that, I don't know if they, you know, if Dulce's family has any feeling whatsoever, then you shouldn't say things like that. But obviously, they're not showing any emotion. But like, to show that to somebody whose child's been missing for 55 years, the brother who's been missing for like 55 years, I think that that's kind of messed up. That you just present these things to these people and tell them that that's, we don't do that. I don't do that. Do you do that?
I mean, I don't.
Who has that echo? Me?
I think I fixed that already. Oh,
Yeah,
maybe
thinking.
still have an echo. I don't hear an echo on my end anyway. Just continue.
But okay, so anyway, so I'm waiting to see if she would have chimed in, but she has not. I can hear myself echo though. But okay. So anyway, so then these strange characters, and I'm not even gonna lie either. I'm gonna put it like this: when I say strange, weird, whatever behavior, I can even include Jackie in that also as well. You and the only reason why is because so many people question the fact, like, where does she come from? Like, who put her in charge to be the spokesperson? And like I'm saying, I'm not saying that Jackie took the bait. I'm not saying that. I'm don't not saying none of that stuff. I'm just saying the weirdest behavior that comes from certain characters since the day that she's been missing. Because some of this, because some of the things that happen don't even make no sense at all. You know, don't make no sense at all. I believe she knew about that video, and then all of a sudden now people have questions and she has no answers, as always. You know. But anyway, um, I just feel like it's time that people come forward. Like, if anybody has any type of information, like real information, because this the chief is saying he doesn't want no theories. He wants straight facts. Like, he wants an actual tip. Like, Dulce says here at so and so place, with so and so, and this is what happened. And until they don't actually have a body, they're not going to be content. And then they're also not even people who's already been investigated are still being investigated. So I mean, you know, so that doesn't mean that people are off the hook as of yet. But that's what they're looking for. So if somebody knows something, then say something. But my whole thing is that somebody out there knows something, and you know, and like I said, since we know that Annie was already in the park that day, we want to talk to her and say, hey, did you see anything odd going on? Like, did you spot a vehicle? Did you spot this? Did you spot that? Like, who gave this sketch anyway? Who looks like Enrique Iglesias or whatever? Because the sketch is even. And I am, you know what? My daughter told me that they usually do sketches and they exaggerate the features a little bit because, you can't really tell everyone's detail. So some things are exaggerated. So I try to make him look a little bit uglier, make him look a little bit more good looking. But it's kind of hard to find somebody that matches. And I want to know, like, who even did that sketch. Like, we're not even allowed to know that either. Better not be somebody from that circle that I've been searching. But what is your take on all of this?
I don't know. I really would like to know who's this Ellis Jones character, though,
Yeah, I
and
was
why.
waiting on Annie because like I said, I don't want to talk about her, but it's not the first time that we've heard her being like that. Uh, she had that problem with what Cynthia, like, that lady Cynthia Beaumont or whatever the heck was going on with that that thing went crazy.
Yeah, but that lady Cynthia, she was kind of nutty
She
herself.
was a little bit rough. She should have never cut that postcard like that though. That might have hurt Annie's feelings for real.
Yeah,
She
she
should have never wrote that postcard like that.
that
But
definitely was
anyway,
weird.
that was weird. And it's like there's a lot of things that strike me. Like, why I have came since Dulce has disappeared, I have had the same name, which is my actual name. Haven't changed my name. I haven't, like, went and you know done other profiles. And I did do one profile, and to look it up, it's Mildred Ortiz, but that I haven't used that profile, and that was from a long time ago because I wanted to look, and somebody had blocked me on Facebook, and so I needed to get some pictures off of there. But anyway, but there's some people that go and then make fake profiles, and sometimes you don't even know if you're talking to the abductor. I be having the most strangest people inbox me sometimes, and I entertain a lot of bunch of conversations because you never know who's on the other end. And then maybe one day if they do have Dulce, maybe you could have had made a difference and maybe, keep talking to them, or, you know, uh, I don't know how to explain it, because this is not even my cup of tea. I'd rather bake cupcakes and cookies and cook all day. Matter of fact, you know what? I'd rather pair socks than do this, because I haven't paired socks in decades. But I want to know, like,
I want to know who's Ellis Jones and
me
why
too.
is
That's what
he
I'm saying.
kicking Miss
Her back
Annie
end.
Jannie's back in?
All of
That's what I want to
2019.
know.
All of 2019. All the way until Dulce disappeared. Like, I what? Like a day or two after that Dulce disappeared. Like,
Yeah, why is he so mad at Miss Annie Jannie?
I
It's
don't
a
know. Like I
hard
said,
knock life.
but I do want to say, because we're not going to sit here and point. And I just want to know, somebody who was at the park that day, like darn, can somebody tell us, like, what did the area look like? Was it
I mean,
was there lots of people
Miss
there? Like,
Miss Annie, if you're watching, you did ping at the park, right? And you do know a gentleman by the name of Ellis Jones, correct? Um, pop on the show. I sent you the link. Pop on the show and talk to us. I mean, can't nobody tell a story better than you.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
With
I
that
want to know.
said, with that said,
And I'm not trying to be rude or anything like that, or hurt anybody's feelings. Like, she can come on here and we can talk. Like, I've been actually dying to have a conversation with Annie. Didn't she want us to interview her anyway? So, like, this is your time right here. You wanted us to interview you anyway.
yeah,
So,
she did. She did want to collaborate, right?
yes, so now we're interviewing her. I just want to know, like, hell, you don't hear from nobody that was there in the park that day. From nobody. From nobody.
Oh no,
5 years was 5.
we got music videos popping up. Missing kids, dads trying to become famous, and then we got Hard Knock Life and Annie Jannies and all this good stuff going on
We
in
have
this case. We
these
got
Ohio
people
letters.
we got people saying that she's killing inmates and stuff. I mean, I don't know, man. I want to get into the meat and potatoes of this thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there, but it's the truth though. Like, hell, we've been talking about Noema for so long. I mean, there's so much bad things that were said about her. I still say it about her. I mean, it's part of your life, you know. I would assume. But anyway, I just wanted to know. I really do want to talk to somebody who was in the park that day. It would be a nice feel to know, like, okay, it was a nice summery day. There was a lot of people jogging. There was a lot of people, fishing. There was a few kids in the basketball courts. There were, what did you see? I think she stated that she had dropped her, she had fell over the curb or something like that, where her scooter and two little girls helped her get up. Two girls helped her get up. But that it happened like 11 something in the morning. And that I don't even want to verse what she was saying, because there's, she said that they came to her. I don't know. But why would the FBI want to come to you because you was there at 11:30 in the morning when Dulce got kidnapped at freaking 4 something in the evening? But right, nobody else has anything. Nobody wants us to talk about anything. Um, we have 9 people on here. Actually, everybody's so super quiet, just listening.
Yeah, they're just listening. They're waiting
But
for
she
you
has
to.
to be somewhere. She literally has to be somewhere. She is here in this whole, she's somewhere on this earth. We just don't know where on this earth she is, but she's somewhere in here. And literally, she was 5 years old. She was 5 years old. You know what? I I have been helping my niece with her baby, and she's not even what, babe? She's like what, a year and some change. So she's not even two yet. And she's the most smartest thing at her age right now. Like she'll sing to you and tell you like exactly what kind of cartoon she wants to watch. She can't really talk like that, but she sings to you what she wants to, what she wants you to put on YouTube and things like that. And then I look at her sometimes and I'm like, you know, when you discipline your baby, you be like, oh, don't touch that and things like that. But when you take a child away from its whole entire environment, to either, I'm hoping that her life is great. That's all I can hope for. That her life is great. She's not going through anything that's unimaginable. That, that at her age, her being 7, she shouldn't even be experiencing at this moment, but just being a freaking kid, you know. Uh, but you don't even know. They say that they stand on the premises that she's still alive because nothing that they found has told them otherwise. But she still hasn't uh, appeared. But yeah, she did say so. Arlene did say that. Annie said, yeah, she was there early in the morning. That's what she said. But if she is alive, just return her. Just return her because I mean, whoever, I'm telling you, whoever took her was one of the most slickest things possible. I got no rookie. I don't give a rat's ass. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but if a rookie pulled this off, I would be shocked. For somebody who didn't know that area quite as well as how you need to know it. Like you, you need to know that in front of you, as soon as you come in through the front way where it says "Welcome to Bushel Zoo," you're gonna see that there's a Cumberland County Jail and a courthouse there, which probably has a lot of cameras. And if you go through the side, there's the, what is that, like the state troopers or something like that is there on the side when you come through that Cohansey Street right there. Uh, I know that there's cameras there, okay? And then there's schools right there. There's 2 schools right there, 3 I think, or whatever. Um, you got the Christian High School, then you got that Cherry School Lane, I think whatever it's called, um, school right there that's across the street from the stadium. That leaked that video of the SUV driving by there, that red SUV that everybody swore Dulce was sitting in the back. I still don't settle right. I still don't like that SUV, but they took it off, so we're just gonna leave it alone. But anyway, I know that a rookie would not know how much cameras was around there because that person would probably assume that the park was loaded in cameras. But somebody who knew that park very well and knew even how to walk out of there, probably jogging, canoeing, driving straight through the woods, through those trails, you know. Um, as we could see that the Cohansey, you can canoe up the Cohansey now because I've seen uh, it's been open, so it's not like you can't canoe through there. Like people said it was closed. Yeah, and then like it's weird about that Friday, the Friday too. Okay, so Dulce went missing on a Monday, right? But that Friday before, there was like a school bus driver out there and this other lady that was out there. The school bus driver remembers seeing Dulce playing out in the park, um, unattended, while her mother sat in the car. Uh, and the other lady said that she remembers seeing her too, that she remembers seeing that long, pretty hair anywhere. So if those people seen that Noema sat in the car a lot, then somebody would have spotted that Noema had that kind of behavior. Like always sitting in the car, type of person, not very attentive to the children. If her story is true about the dog that she states that she used to bring to the park, then the the person would, like that day she said she didn't bring the dog, so that's why Dulce went missing. And I still to this day question, like, who did who told her that she needs to be careful with the dog in the park because it can bite one of the kids, because she said somebody in there told her, at the park. But I always ask. She said she doesn't remember who told her that. You know, it's kind of odd. Like, your child goes missing. I would have remember the way my fart smelled if I farted at 3:45 p.m. on the way to the freaking Sunoco. I wouldn't even remember how that fart smelled if my child went missing. This is just what I'm saying. Like, I don't mean to make it funny, but I'm just saying, like, I would remember almost just about everything that didn't even make sense to where it makes sense now. Like, that it happened so smoothly and so naturally that it's just weird that nobody in the park seen that this little girl got kidnapped. There's no freaking way. It looks so normal. I still think about it every day. I'm like, there's no way. Sometimes I just go off in a daze and I be like, let me see if, nope, it still makes it look like what happened made it look like he was probably like a fatherly related to her, or like uncle related to her, but whoever seen it thought that, oh, they're related, or oh, that could be her dad, and didn't know that at the time she was actually being taken, and no, she was not with her father. No, that was not her uncle. No, that was not her older brother. That was actually, like, her kidnapper, uh, taking her. But it just looked so smoothly that nobody alerted this woman to tell her that her child was being taken. That's the whole thing. Like, and that park is usually full with Hispanics. And you know what? We're so nosy. We're so nosy. We're the most nosiest people. I don't care. We're the most nosiest people. All right. And nobody seemed to notice anything was wrong. Like, they didn't see that this little girl, nobody in the park seen that these two kids walked out of a car and got there, and somebody from the opposite side was luring them to come over. So you didn't see them coming out of this vehicle, because man, kids scream. Like, I could only imagine that. Look, my kids since young, they yell. Okay, boy, these things are big and they still yell. But when they were younger and they was running out of the car full of excitement, kids scream, ah, yeah, anyway, they're getting to the park, so you would hear children making noise. Somebody, not saying that everybody would turn heads, but it would catch, at least if there was 30 people in the park, my estimated guess would be like about 10 heads would turn if they hear like a kid maybe yelling of enjoyment or just yelling period, and then you would look and whatever. But you're telling me that nobody in the park seen those two kids come out of the park, come out of the car, go to the park, and Dulce runs off, like she says. She runs away. She goes behind the buildings, and now she's missing, and nobody's seen anything. So everybody, if she went missing for 15 minutes, that Noema sat in the car, and within 15 minutes, 5 people left. that could have possibly actually been a witness to what happened, then forget it. You know, by the time you get that witness, probably would have been the next day. Dulce would have still been further away than normal. But you know, and then she took 45 freaking minutes to call the police. 45 minutes to call the police. So you're already sitting in the car, scratching a lottery ticket with your 8-year-old sister in the car doing homework, which by the way was a half a day, which I still don't understand why that child was doing homework in the car because school was let out early. She could have done it at home. And was it that important that you really had to do it in the park? Like, did you make that call or did your mom make that call? Like, oh, she can't go to the park and have fun because she needs to make up work. Whatever. But it was only the first week of school, so I don't know how far behind this child could have been or how much work they could have gave them because they do give a lot of work. But anyway, so your two kids run to the park with freshly bought ice creams, right? They run off to the swings. Your sister spots them for a few seconds or minutes. Both of you girls are distracted. Your little sister notices that she can't spot the children or something like that, you stated. So you both get out the car. Y'all walk over there and you notice that Manny is crying. His ice cream is down on the ground, right? And then you ask him where Dulce is at, and he points to behind the buildings. And then, so I'm pretty sure you went back there. So you didn't start freaking out until you went back there. Okay, so as you're going back there, you don't notice there is no child, there's no Dulce, there's no nothing. What did you do right after that? Did you immediately go to the basketball course and say, hey, did you notice my daughter that was here? Or did you continue walking down the trail? Did you call her? Then did you go back to the basketball courts and ask these people? Um, and they supposedly told you that somebody took her. So then you call your brother, right, to bring the dog walking for 22 minutes to get there to the park so you can look for the baby, right? Then he gets there 22 minutes later. You phone the police, right? Because now you can't find her. So that's like 45 to 15 minutes later. There's still no Dulce. I don't understand all the way up to all of it. I don't understand it. I still can't even put it together. You sit in the car, scratching a lotto, your sister's doing homework, then you get out 10 to 15 minutes later, you notice that your child is crying, ice cream on the ground, supposedly Dulce is behind the building. Your son, I'm pretty sure your son told you, because you said that your son stated that somebody waved to her and told her, like, come here, like hand motion. I'm pretty sure when he told you that, you should have already right then and there knew that something was wrong, because your 3-year-old told you that somebody signaled her with their hand to, like, come here. You know, I just don't get it. And then now it's like nobody still remembers anything. And in between you get these strange odd characters that still don't make no sense. A lot of people chased this local whisperer for like 4 to 5 months. Like old Hail Mary, like if he was supposed to find her, and it was just all bull. It was all bull, just like every other psychic. It was all bull, just like the psychic who said that she was buried behind her school, and they went over there and there was like a, that was like the most people I've ever seen in Dulce's search was when they thought they was about to go back there and locate a body. That whole school was filled with tons and tons and tons of people to locate a dead body, but not when they needed that whole force within the first 72 hours to see if they can walk around and locate her. But for a dead body, that whole school was full. I know you remember that, right? What's her name? Marcy? That spirit whisperer Marcy?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The whole everybody came out for that.
everything, everybody, including Greg. I mean, and Annie, everybody came out there. Ooh, so good to know. Anyway, everybody went out there, and there's this other lady named Annie too, that she's very weird. She's very, very, very weird. Anyway, uh, she also sends somebody that I know the weirdest freaking messages ever. And I'm not talking about Jannie. I'm talking about another Annie that she sends this girl like these weird ass messages. And that's another one too, that her profile pictures puts her there that day, like from the school where everybody thought that they was gonna find a dead body. Like she was there that day with the local whisperer, uh, digging up some things, but then yet again, she says she doesn't know these people. So that's another person that I've been following too. Is that I don't think that that's her real name though. So anyway, but well, I guess she didn't join on like I wanted her to. I really did want to talk to her. I
Yeah,
was in the mood to ask questions.
I would have loved for her to come on because I really want to know why is it that this Ella Jones character is bashing her the way he is, and on his profile, and it's just the timing. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? The timing.
yeah. I mean, and I'm not saying nothing bad about her. I mean, if she's a caring individual like that, then she needs to say, "Yo, like this man, he's a freaking lunatic," you know. And hell, like I said, I wanted to talk to somebody who was actually in the park that day. Like I want to know what the feel was, like what the weather was. Was the weather nice? Would you had worn a hoodie? Would you had worn a short sleeve shirt? Would you had worn basketball shorts? Would you had worn sweatpants? Like it was September 16th, around four something. Was the wind, was it blowing? Like what the hell? You know, for some, you would want to ask somebody to get the feel of the area that day. And she was there that day. So I want to know, you know, did no, I believe that his name was Roy Jones, not that Jones. His name was Roy Jones. I believe he was a fake profile. Um, he's not in my group. He's somewhere else. But I want to get the feel of the day, like of the day. Would it had been a nice day to go fishing? Would it have been a nice day to go jogging? Would it have been a nice day to go on a romantic stroll? Um, uh, to go play basketball? To play soccer? What kind of day was it? We know it was 4 p.m. We don't know if it was a nice hot summery day. Uh, there was a lot of activities going around, things like that. And then on top of that, that day also too, it was National Mexican Independence Day. And let me tell you, okay, that this last visual that we went to on September 16th, the one from last year, those streets were loaded with trucks and vans waving the Mexican flag with music and laughter, and you can smell like over there in the in that plaza around where Dulce lives out, around Church Street right there on Urban. You can smell like there was barbecuing. I mean, you could tell it was National Mexican Independence Day. How was the park? Was people strolling around there? Like, was people parading with the trucks, with the flags? Was people out there? That's what I'm saying. Like, there was only two people in the park on that on their day. And last year when I seen it, how festive they were. You telling me that that day you weren't festive, and this and the city workers were off that day? Give me 1 second.
The city workers were off on a day that Dulce went missing.
I'm sorry. What was that?
The city workers weren't off on the day that Dulce went missing, were they?
Yeah, yeah, they were.
They were off.
Yeah, they were. They were off that day.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, I told you. Well, I'll tell you a lot of things. You just don't pay attention. Some of
Yeah,
it.
you know, so sometimes things go in one ear and out the other.
Yeah, but yeah, and it was they were off that day, and it was a half a day in school. So, and it was National Mexican Independence Day. And like I said, last year when I went to the visual, it was like we were stuck behind cars because that's how full the streets were with vehicles celebrating this day.
So it was a day that there was school. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure that I understand this correctly. It was
Yes.
a day. It was a day that there was school, but
Yep.
the city workers weren't working.
Nope. But it was a half a day of school too, so they were let out early.
Okay, all right, okay.
And that day also, and let me tell you a Christian fun fact that day also, the mayor was in Atlantic City at an event that was being held out there for like a few days or something like that. That had to do, with some things that they were introducing into Christian and things like that. So not even him was he in the area when she went missing.
Right. And as Beth Bailey is saying, why would law enforcement say that it was a stranger abduction, but yet mom says that Dulce would not go with a stranger. I mean, she was like
Yeah.
absolutely positively sure that little Dulce would not go with a stranger.
Yep. She said that. She clearly keeps saying it that Dulce will not go with a stranger, but then when she's asked, so do you think a family member would have done it? Because if you're saying she will not go with a stranger, so then we're assuming then that it was a family or a family friend, right? Because what, like 85% of the abductions happen with somebody who they know them in some way, shape, or form. So okay, so listen, it doesn't even have to be a stranger abduction. If Dulce had already known this person from like school, right? Or let's just say church. Um, let's say even in those like those events like that they always go into, that that they had those certain days, like Day of the Dead, and they're always celebrating something. This family was stood celebrating something and was always somewhere celebrating. So did she keep on seeing the same repetitive person all the time, 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 all the time? And even though you don't associate with them on a daily basis, but whenever you go to certain events and certain things happen, that person is always there, right? I'm just saying. And your child would establish a relationship, just like in school. Your child would establish a certain relationship. It could either be with like the janitor, it could even be with a bus driver, it could have been with any of her teachers.
Right.
Uh, and you don't know that, you know. Uh, it could have even been. I'm not saying anything, but she could have went to the dentist's office, and somebody could have seen her, could have been there with their child, and seen her at the dentist's office, and then they seen them at the park, and you don't know where your child established this relationship with this person, that they was that comfortable. She was that comfortable in leaving with them and making it look so normal that nobody knew she was getting kidnapped.
Things that make you go, huh?
Yeah. So, you would think that, um, how did they get him back there? Because his ice cream was knocked down on the ground, right? right? So did they say to her, if she knew them that well, did they say to her, oh, okay, I'm going to go back there and I'm going to get you some money? Or did she run after them and say, hey, that wasn't nice? But even though she knew them, like, hey, that wasn't nice. So she was okay with running after them to tell them that. And then that was the opportunity that that person took to take her. Because how else were you going to get her from the swing to behind those buildings? And those little girls said that they seen her, that somebody knocked this child's ice cream on the ground, and that they seen Dulce run away, and you know, and the oh yeah, oh hey Annie, you should have. Oh, he had trauma in his brain. You should have called in because we told you we want to know like the feel of the park that day. I made it very clear that we're not here to bash you or anything like that, or say that you took Dulce or nothing like that. We just really wanted to just ask you some questions. We wanted to know like the feel of that day from the park. Oh yeah, he talks bad about. I figured that because he was going crazy on those posts, and I was like, I know.
Yeah, he was going ham.
Yeah, I know. Me and you have bumped heads for every once in a while, but you don't even get that crazy on me. So I wanted to know like, are this the same Annie we talk about with Dulce? You know, because that just doesn't seem like the same one that be on those video calls and stuff like that. That's why we wanted you to call in. We really wanted to ask you some questions about the day of that park. Like, I wanted to know.
You did send her the link, right?
Yeah, I sent her the link. Yeah, you got bashed years ago, and girl, I know
Pop
it.
in, pop in, Miss
Yeah,
Annie.
I know. I've been there too. I've been in the same boat.
We sent you the link. Pop in, chime in,
Yeah, we'd
join
like
the
to hear from you.
conversation.
You tell it instead of writing it. Well, I'm just saying, I'm not gonna be the only one who had found that. Anyway, like I said, I just want to know. You told us why we don't ask you, so now we're just asking. We really didn't say anything much about the um the posters that he wrote. I
I
just said
think
he was
she's
going,
asking. I think she's asking where you sent the link to. Where did you send the link to?
oh, to her messenger.
Check your
Tell
messenger,
her
Miss Annie.
tell her to click on that StreamYard, the one with the
It's a
little dot.
StreamYards. It's a StreamYards link. It should be in your messenger.
I'm gonna resend it to you.
She's gonna resend it to you.
I sent it to you, Annie. Oh,
We're just waiting on Miss Annie Jannie to join us real quick. I mean, she could tell the story better than anybody.
yeah. I don't want to put words in my. I don't want to do all of that.
I mean, it just seemed weird the timing. You know what I'm saying? The timing that this guy's posting these crazy allegations, and you know what I'm saying. But like I said, you could tell the story better than anybody. We're just waiting for you to pop in.
Yeah, cause my
Meanwhile, back at the ranch,
I need my beauty sleep. What time is it? No, cause that they was bringing up the baby. And I was like, oh no, I'm not done my live yet.
well, we'll give Miss Annie
Yeah,
Jenny a few more minutes.
Yeah.
She,
So they bring the baby back up here.
she, she says that her messenger is not working. I'll drop the link here.
Okay.
Just give me a second.
Well,
All right, yeah, because we got about like another 15 minutes, and then
yeah.
we're getting up out of here.
Yeah.
All right, I pasted it in the chat room there, Miss Annie Jannie.
Yeah, because having my niece's daughter around, boy, she's exhausting.
Oh, she said that the link in Messenger is not working. I just pasted it here in the chat room. Try that one. All right, we got Miss Annie Jannie. Welcome, Miss Annie Jannie, to the stream, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
Uh,
Okay, hello guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I
Okay, now what's going on? Because this is the first I'm hearing of any of this.
So are we. I was just saying, like, we're not saying that you did anything with Dulce or anything like that. That's not what we're talking about. We just
Right.
wanted to know why this guy was so upset at you.
Well, I don't even know that guy. That guy is somebody who stumbled across me.
Mm,
He obviously has mental issues,
I seen that.
and I don't know who he is. I really don't know who he is, and I don't really want to talk about him except that I know it's quite obvious he's got some kind of traumatic brain injury
Yeah.
because somebody did something wrong to him. Some nurse did something somewhere to something, and he stumbled across me. And you guys know I'm a nurse, or maybe you didn't
Yeah.
know, but I'm a trained nurse.
but
And
why but why would he pick you out of all nurses?
no,
Why would he pick you?
I'm not the only one he's picking on. He's picking on other people.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, he's picking on other people. I'm not the only one. But somebody said that I was in somebody's obituary or something.
Yes.
Okay, what's that about? I don't know what that's about.
Oh yeah, I didn't know about that one.
Well,
Well,
I haven't said that on here, so I wasn't gonna really say anything like
Okay,
that
all right.
on
Well,
here.
yeah, that's not fair to me, though. That's not fair to
But
me
listen,
because you
Annie, I
guys are
want to no
talking.
listen, Annie. I'm trying to get listen, Annie. How about if this gentleman, because he had mental illness, honey, right? How about
Right.
if he was following you, baby, and you was
Well,
in the park that
well,
day? I'm just saying, like,
How is this helping?
because he was
How
real
is this
mad at you all
helping?
the way onto
I
that
live
day, so maybe
alone.
he
I
followed you.
What purpose does this serve? What purpose is this serving?
I don't know, but it's
Exactly. I
it,
yeah,
live alone.
the
The,
purpose that it's serving is we're trying to
well,
we're asking
the
the
reason
gentleman,
why the
you said your son.
excuse me, Mr. Beauchamp,
Excuse me, ma'am. I got the floor at the
excuse
moment.
me.
Like I was saying, we we just want to get it from you, like you said yourself. The gentleman may be disturbed, and he may have followed you to the park on that day.
Well, the reason I have a problem with what you're doing is, do you live in Bridgeton?
No,
well,
I live in Cumberland County though.
Okay, I live in Bridgeton. I live near the park. Okay. Brenda, do you live in Bridgeton?
I live in Cumberland County, but we're not saying that you took like we're not
Well, I
saying
know
that you
you're
was even
not,
involved in
sweetheart,
that.
but you're gonna. But the last time social media did this to me, I had knocks on the door. I had prank phone calls. This serves no purpose. What purpose is this serving? I obviously didn't take Dulce, right?
But if you did it, okay, but you did the same thing, okay.
Oh,
Listen,
we really don't
you did
know
the same thing
who
with
took
Jesus
Dulce.
though.
I
Yeah, we're not
There's
saying that you
videos.
took.
I haven't talked about, I took all videos down. I haven't made a single video. You're right. So that's why I took all videos down and haven't made a single video. As a matter of fact, I'm on Team Naomi. Okay. I showed up at her vigil and gave her $500 cash in a card because I feel bad for her. You're right. I did the same thing. I took the videos down. Okay. But I had a vigil here. That's why I took the videos down.
Yeah, but you didn't tell them though, Annie, in the beginning that you was checked out because the day her daughter went. I mean, I just think that was a little bit
I was
disrespectful.
not checked out. I was not checked out.
That's
My
what you
phone,
stated though.
no, my phone pinged in the park because there's 4 people that live upstairs.
Okay.
They came to check the people upstairs, but my phone pinged in the park.
Oh.
So I guess they did come check me out. But the people upstairs called me. The reason my phone pinged in the park is because a friend called me and I happened to be in the park. And everybody that was in the park that day got checked out. So are you going to make a video on every Bridgetonian that got checked out?
We have.
You know that social media has been extremely problematic for me. You know that.
We know that, but I mean, there's a
And you're
missing
also
child here.
talking about me, and you're also talking about me in the Facebook groups when I'm not doing anything. Of course there's a missing child here. That's why I gave
Just
my
yesterday.
support to Naomi.
Yes. Well, just yesterday was the first, and I didn't even post that up there just yesterday. But before then, I've given more nicknames than actual names when I talk about people because I don't give them an actual name. Now, has your name came up across a couple of times? Yes, since day one. But did it look weird? But whatever, okay. But not one time. The only time that I spoke about you was when I found out
I
when that
didn't say
guy
you
blasted you
spoke
on
about me,
Facebook.
sweetheart. I
That
didn't
guy
say you
blasted you
spoke
on
about me.
Facebook. He blasted you on Facebook, Annie, the very next day after you had the visual at your house. And that's how everybody knew. But if
I'm
that
not
gentleman
aware
didn't
of
do
that.
that, then you would have not had even been upfront and honest with his family. I'm just saying that, there's just a lot of weird things. And you always wanted to get interviewed, right? These are questions that we had
No,
to do.
no, I never wanted to get interviewed. You're confusing me with someone else.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, the newspaper said, "What was your name?" I said, "I don't want my name in the paper."
Okay.
Now, I had a lot of fallout from that vigil, so I took all my videos down and I went silent. I'm not sure what this is serving right now. I'm not sure what this is serving.
Because people want to know why you pinged
What
at
did I
the
answer it?
park.
What did I answer it? They checked out every person that was in the park that day. So I hope you're prepared to do like maybe 2,000 interviews.
Oh, we're ready because somebody knows where this little girl is at. So I'm
All
ready to
right.
interview
Well,
3,000
okay. Well,
people if I have to.
no, it's 2,200.
Well, hey, if it's 3,000 people, even 2,200, so you even know. So obviously, the extensity, like the list is long. So I'm
Right.
pretty sure I don't already searched about 1,500 of those people. So what, 700 more
Well,
than I still need to
yeah.
search.
I hope you have 1,500 YouTube videos then.
I want to.
That's
Well, anyway, uh, we're done with this. We're not going to sit here and just argue back and forth.
well. I'm not
But
arguing it. This serves no purpose.
yeah,
No,
it,
this
No,
serves no
yeah.
purpose.
people want to know
None.
why you was at the
That's
park
why
and
it pinged in the park. Because
why
I
is
live
it
here.
that your name surrounds this case like flies surround shit. That's all. With that said, my good people, y'all make it a phenomenal evening. We're out of here. We catch y'all on the next one. Good night. Peace.